I-ego is like tartar. No matter how well we brush our teeth, tartar is created. Soft food residue accumulates little by little over time and hardens like a stone. Our I-ego also did not exist originally, but hardens like a stone through various experiences through the five senses. Just as tartar damages our teeth, this I-ego also hurts our hearts. Because we have lived for so long, mistaking it for our true self, we are hurt and suffering from that illusion. Realizing this illusion is the first step toward healing the heart. However, most people in the world live their entire lives, feeling pain and suffering, joy and delight in this illusion. The life of the ego is like riding the roller coaster, with the thrill of going back and forth between extreme pain and extreme pleasure. That is why people cannot easily let go of this life. Some people who have experienced extreme pain sometimes become priests, nuns, or monks. They are fed up with the ego's life. Life energy is made up of two different energies. It is the Tajuk energy. It is Yang energy and Yin energy. Likewise, the wave called I-ego derived from this sea of life energy also has these two energies. Yin energy is the energy that attracts. This energy attracts and stores the experience of coming into contact with the external world through the five senses, which become our I-ego. All of our thoughts are rooted in the ego. We think in language. Koreans think in Korean. Americans think in English. If someone has never experienced any language since birth, they will not be hurt in their hearts, no matter what insults they are given. This language takes up the largest part of the ego. No, the ego can be expressed in one word as the house of language. Wittgenstein, an Austrian philosopher of language, explored the world of enlightenment through language. If enlightenment is a world that transcends language, then the ego is the world of language. As I said before, our lives can be divided into the conscious I-ego and the unconscious soul. The conscious I-ego is thought, and this thought is language. On the other hand, the unconscious soul is feeling, and this feeling is the language of the unconscious. So, if we were to say a way to distinguish the ego and the soul easily, we could say that thought is the ego and feeling is the soul. The feelings of the soul include intuition, sixth sense, premonition, inspiration, feeling hunger, pain, cold, heat, love, etc. are all done by the soul. Animals have a more developed unconsciousness than humans. On the other hand, we humans have developed thoughts. Our I-ego is created by the yin energy of life. So the ego is a particle-like entity. It is originally an illusion, but it is thought to exist. Life is said to always be one body with yang and yin energy. Therefore, the attracting yin energy called ego has yang energy that extends in the opposite direction, and the action of that yang energy is our consciousness. This is how the consciousness of I-ego was born. That is why children who have not yet properly formed their I-ego do not have much of a consciousness of I-ego. Earlier, I likened I-ego to tartar. These days, tartar can be easily removed at the dentist, but it is really not easy to remove it without using such tools. Likewise, our I-ego has hardened over the years, and it is really not easy to remove it. It is even more difficult because it is not visible like tartar. However, there is a simple method here. It is a method that many enlightened masters have passed down. It is called contemplation. It is an act of watching one's own mind as if watching a play. All religions have meditation methods like this, but how can this method heal our minds and lead to enlightenment? What we are not aware of can be called the unconscious. This unconsciousness can be expressed as darkness. On the other hand, our consciousness can be expressed as light. The darkness disappears when the light shines. Similarly, when we become aware of something that we were not aware of, that is, When we shine a light on it, it is released from the darkness of the unconscious. Then it no longer hurts us or hinders us. In a word, we are freed from it. For example, if someone is particularly angry about gender discrimination, the cause may be related to a past life, or may be closely related to some experience from childhood. Therefore, in psychotherapy, the cause is found through hypnosis or psychological counseling. Thus, when the client accurately recognizes and understands the cause, that is, when what was in the darkness of the unconscious becomes conscious through counseling, the person can finally be free from the unconscious anger reaction to gender discrimination. It does not disappear right away, but when such a situation arises, if the person is awake, there will come a time when he or she becomes completely free. In this way, all obstacles to consciousness and unconsciousness can be removed. So enlightenment is liberation, complete freedom. In the days of Jesus, there was a young man who wanted to follow Jesus. He asked Jesus, "What should I do to gain eternal life?" Jesus said, "Sell everything you have and give to the poor, and come follow me." When the rich young man heard this, he became sad and went away worried. For this young man, the obstacle was his attachment to material things. If Jesus tells you, "Drop all you have and follow me," you will not be able to follow readily. At that moment, look deep into your mind to see what is blocking your steps. Something you have, such as your wealth, wife, children, status, honor, etc., must have blocked your steps. These are your obstacles. When these things no longer hinder you, you are free from them. I have always asked myself the above questions while pursuing the path of enlightenment. That has been my touchstone for checking the state of enlightenment. It's been 40 years since I started using this method of contemplation. About 20 years after I started this work, there was a big change in my mind. Everything in the world felt small. Almost everyone, no matter who they were, felt small. Was it because my mind became bigger? This feeling was not the kind that ignored others. In the midst of that, I came to write the following poem. The mind is full yet empty, and empty yet full because it is empty. It contains all things. And because it is full, it cannot be exhausted even if used. The mind is empty yet full, and full yet empty. So it cannot be filled with effort too, or emptied with effort too, just as the sky embraces clouds. It embraces all things by emptiness, so emptiness gradually becomes mercy, and mercy now nurtures all things. In the following video, I will discuss some things to remember when contemplating your mind.